Ohai. Kathmandu, capital and the largest city of Nepal, is historic, economic, political and cultural center. The population of the city makes more than 1 million people. Mountain Kathmandu Valley, about 1300 m high, the historic area of Nepal well known for the Navarsky cities of Kathmandu, Lalitpur, Patan, Bhaktapur, Kirtapa, Panoti and numerous monasteries, the temple centers and cultural monuments. The city has rich, more than card-year history. The image of the capital remained since the 17th-18th centuries when Kathmandu Valley was actively built up during government of kings of a dynasty of Mughal. Religious and cultural festivals, an important part of the life of citizens. The most part of the population of Kathmandu is followers of Hinduism, the second in number of followers religion is the Buddhism. Also followers of other religions live in the city that is Kathmandu by one of the most cosmopolitan cities of the world. The most widespread language of communication is Dinphal. Kathmandu, the largest cultural education center of Nepal. Here the Royal Academy, National College, Sanskrit College, the University of Tribhuvan, Association of Fine Arts are located. Besides, in Kathmandu there is a National Museum of Nepal, the Numismatical Museum and a number of libraries from which are distinguished national and central. Kathmandu, Lalitpur and Bhaktapur are so closely connected culturally that monuments and sites of all three cities are entered in the UNESCO World Cultural Heritage List as one object of protection, the World Heritage of Kathmandu Valley. The city of Kathmandu is called in honor of the temple Kathmandu located at Durbar Square. In translation from Sanskrit of words of caste. Shri and Mandap means the covered haven. This temple, also known as Maras Satal, was built in 1596 by the King Lakshmi Narsingham of Mughal. The two-level building is completely made of a tree without use of iron nails. According to a legend, all wood used at construction of the temple was received from one tree. In the Middle Ages the city was also known as Kantapur. This name is also derivative of two Sanskrit words, an edging and pur. Kanti is one of names of the goddess Lakshmi, and pur means the place. Among Nevarets of Kathmandu it is known as Desis Yens. Yens, reduction from Yamba. The name which originally belonged only to a northern part of Kathmandu. The archaeological excavations which are carried out to Kathmandu confirm existence to an ancient civilization here. The oldest of the statues found here is dated 185 AD. At excavation in the Kandu Chaitya, the brick with inscriptions on Brahma whose age is estimated in more than 2000 was found. The inscriptions cut on stones are an important source of information on the history of Nepal. The ancient period of the history Kathmandu is described in myths and legends. According to the Puranitu Swayambh, on the place of modern Kathmandu there was a lake under Nagdak's name. The lake was drained by Mandachushri, who founded the city, the called Manshipatan, and appointed the Karmakar the governor of the drained territory. Very few records about the period preceding ascension on a throne of governors from a medieval dynasty of Likavi. About 400 AD remained. According to a family tree of the Nepalese monarchs, Gopal Rajvan Savali. Two Likshavav governors of Kathmandu Valley were Gopala, Makaspala, Abkira, Karata and Somavansha. Kirat's dynasty was based by Yalambar. During Bodh Kiratov there was a settlement under the name Yamba in a northern part of Old Kathmandu. In some Sino-Tibetan languages of Kathmandu is still called Yamba. During the same period also Yangal in the southern part of the modern city was based. During government of the 7th governor from a dynasty Kirat, Titiasti, the Buddhist monks who founded the forest monastery Sanku got into Kathmandu Valley. At a turn of 4-5 centuries of Kathmandu Valley from the Indo-Gangetic plains arrived the Kava. Having won against Kiratov, they based a new ruling dynasty. During the same period escaped from the genocide organized by the governor Viradkaka in Lumbini, Shakya migrated on the north to Yamba and Yangala, Lanshagval and Manjapatan, and founded the first constant Buddhist monastery Kathmandu. After their arrival Yamba Kolagram, and Yangal, Dakshim Kolagram began to be called. Actually Kathmandu was founded in 723 by governor from a dynasty Likchavav of Gunamakadeva who united Kolagram and Dakshim Kolagram. The city was built in the form of Chandrakrasa, man's sword. Kathmandu played an important role in transit trade between India and Tibet. Trade exchange led also to active cultural interaction. During this period both in the valley and beyond her limits art of Nevarets, aboriginals of Kathmandu Valley became widely demanded. Navarsky artists widely were attracted for painting of temples outside the valley. After an era Likchavav there came the era of Mull, the 12th-18th centuries. In the 12th century governors of the area Turkhet under pressure of Muslim conquerors were forced to migrate further north to Kathmandu Valley. Owing to dynastic marriages they became governors of Kathmandu. The first rule of a dynasty was difficult and was followed by attacks of Hazan Muslims. Also during this period as a result of destructive earthquakes a third of the population of Kathmandu, including the Tsar Apkayutumal died. These events led to destruction of a considerable part of architectural heritage of an era Likchavav and loss of many monuments of literature of the previous period. Despite these difficulties, Kathmandu soon returned the value and during the whole era of Mull dominated in transit trade between India and Tibet. The currency of Nepal became standard currency of the Transhimalaya trade. By the end of an era the state of Mull turned into confederation of 4 city-states, Kantipura, Lalitpur, Bhaktapur and Kirtipur. The governors of these states controlling Kathmandu Valley competed with each other in art, architecture and trade. The era of Mull came to the end in 1768 when Kathmandu Valley passed under control of the Kingdom Gorkha. This event marked the beginning of the modern period of history of the city. Kathmandu became the capital of the Empire Gorkha, which established control over all Nepal. At this particular time, buildings with characteristic Nepalese architecture, for example, a tower Bosantapa, were built. However, in the same time, owing to wars between neighboring states, decline of the Trans-Himalaya trade began. Nepal began to conduct active foreign policy. So, the Prime Minister of Nepal, Khyam Sankapa, 1806-1837, gave support of France during her fight against Great Britain for establishment of control over India. Building in Kathmandu of modern military strengthenings turned out to be consequence of it. In 1846, after Kotsky slaughter, during which over 40 representatives of a ruling dynasty and the prime minister of the country died, control over the country and the city passed to Zambajid Ran, become the founder of a dynasty of Ran. During board of the wound of Kathmandu passed from the anti-British alliance to pro-British. At this time, the first buildings in the Western style were built. The first modern road to Kathmandu Valley is constructed. Trichandra College. The first college of Nepal. The Durbar School. The first modern school of Nepal. Where Hospital. The first hospital of the country. Are founded. Ran's government was noted by tyranny, economic exploitation of the population and religious prosecutions. Kathmandu is located in a northwest part of Kathmandu Valley. Square of the city of 50.67 square km. Average height above sea level 1350 m. The city agglomeration of Kathmandu, including the neighboring cities of Patankurtapur, Khimi, Baktopa, covers all valley and covers located in the neighboring valleys of the city of Banepa, Panodi and Kulikal. The territory of the city is drained by 8 rivers. The largest of them Bagmati, Bishnumati, Kobikola, Manokara, Hanamant and Tukacha. The climate of Kathmandu, taking into account city height above sea level, 1355 m, and proximity of high mountains, the Himalayas, Tibet, is subtropical monsoonal. In the winter, winds from the continent blow, but mountains block inflow of cold air masses from the north. As a result, winds bring dry weather with huge daily fluctuations. More than 15 c. The monsoon of India comes from the outside in the summer and plentiful rainfall drops out. In this regard, the summer stuffy and damp, but a strong heat happens seldom. Daily fluctuations significantly smaller. In the winter often there are frosts, but snow drops out rather seldom. Average temperature of January, coldest month, of plus 10 C, June and July. Warmest months, of plus 24.4 C. Economy. The arrangement and relief of Kathmandu had a considerable impact on development of the city. The city is located on the place of the ancient lake with fertile soil structure and a smooth relief. These features contributed to the development of agriculture. The favorable microclimate and location on the ancient trade way between India and Tibet created conditions for transformation of Kathmandu into important shopping center. Dealers from Kathmandu promoted distribution of local art styles and the Buddhism. Other traditional branches of economy of Kathmandu are wood carving, metal casting, painting, weaving and ceramics. Kathmandu, the most important industrial and shopping center of Nepal. Here the Stock Exchange of Nepal, head office of National Bank of Nepal, Chamber of Commerce and also offices of national and transnational banks, the telecommunication companies and other national and international organizations are located. The cumulative product of the capital region makes $6.5 billion or more than a third of GDP of Nepal. Kathmandu exports works of art, products of handicraft trade, articles of clothing, carpets, pashminas, papers. Trade makes 21% of total revenues of the city. The industry generates 19% of income of Kathmandu. The most known objects of export are clothes and woolen carpets. Other sectors of economy of Kathmandu: agriculture, 9%. Education, 6%. Transport, 6%. Hospitality industry and restaurant business, 5%. Transport. The Sai Yatyat company serves regular bus transportations. At the city there was also a trolleybus system. It was presented by one Marshart and closed in November 2009. In 5.56 kilometers to the east from Kathmandu there is a Tribhuvan airport. Between the city and Hatoda the cableway 43 km long on which 25 tons of freights an hour were transported worked. It was closed because of the small loading capacity and problems with maintenance. Now the cableway works at Hills Chandragiri. Sites: Mortas Badnath and Svayambanath, Pashupatnath, Durbar Square, Building Kastamandap, Royal Palace, Lalitpur. Patan, Budanilkant, tourist region of Tamil, Rani Pokhari's Pond, Karakar's Tower. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.